Hey, what's up guys? So in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Radenso XP, and specifically we're going to be taking a look at the different features and menu options available in the detector. As you can see, we got a couple buttons here on top. We're also going to be jumping into the menu itself, and I'm going to run you through all the different options that it has available. Now if you're not already familiar with the general idea behind this detector, I do have a different video specifically kind of introducing you guys to the detector and explaining kind of where it stands and what's it all about. If you want to watch that, go ahead and click the button on the top right hand corner of your screen. Watch that one first. In this one, we're going to be going into some information about the different features and options, and I'm actually going to show you, what the detector is like in practice. Now, quick note, this is a kind of pilot production unit. If you take a look here on the bottom, you'll see it doesn't even have an FCC ID sticker on it yet. This is a pilot production sample, so this does have still some changes to be made before it is available for sale next month, but nonetheless, I wanted to go ahead and show you guys, because this one is pretty close to production ready, the different menu options available. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now here on top of the detector we've got 4 different buttons. These buttons all do double duty depending on if you give them a short press or a long press. This first button right here on the left is going to be to change our different modes.
City mode, auto city mode, highway mode.
You can see we got 3 different modes. Those of you guys who are familiar with the previous Radensos, it's the same sort of thing. City mode allows us to actually reduce the sensitivity when we're driving around in town, and you can actually go in here and change those sensitivity levels. We'll do it here in just a second. Auto city will automatically do that at low speeds, but then you get full sensitivity at full speed, right, at high speed. And highway mode is full sensitivity all the time, no matter the speed, right? If you long press the button for about 2 seconds, that'll allow you to change the volume. So that's volume down. On this side we have volume up. It goes all the way up to about volume 9 or so, and it is loud at volume 9. So for the sake of my eardrums, not going to go that high. This button will allow you to both save user points and delete them.
User point saved. User point deleted.
So depending on that, you can add and remove points as you need. This button right here in the middle, this is going to be your mute button. This is pretty cool. So let me go ahead and trigger an alert real quick. Go ahead and do a K-band.
K-band.
So there's our alert.
Mute on.
We can actually press the button there and it'll go ahead and mute the signal for us. You'll see right here on the corner, our signal is still muted. So if we were to get another alert, it'll actually stay muted, right? And that little indicator there will actually let us know that if we see the signal again for a couple seconds, even after it disappears, the detector will mute it. However, after a couple seconds, you'll see that that mute icon is going to go away. And then if we get that signal later on down the line, it will go ahead and alert again normally. Now that does something else as well. If you press that button when you're not actually getting an alert, such as right now,
mute on.
It'll also say mute on, but this will actually stay there. This works a little bit differently. This is actually pretty cool. I like this feature a lot. If you're driving around in town and you're just like, I want to basically nuke all X-band and K-band alerts to keep my detector quiet, you can just do that. And now whenever you get any K-band alerts, you'll see them on the display, but you're not going to hear them. So if you're on a phone call or you've got your girlfriend or wife sitting next to you and you just really want it to be quiet, you can just enable the mute mode.
Mute off.
And all X and K-band signals will be muted.
Mute on.
That's different than if you were to get a laser alert or a Ka-band alert. For example, I've got mute turned on right now.
Ka-band 34.7.
So Ka and laser will actually make it through that mute feature. So it's basically a way to just mute X and K-band around town.
Off.
Really handy feature. There's not a lot of detectors that can do that. The V1 can kind of do that if you press the button, but that disables K-band completely. The Stinger, same sort of thing. There is the option of disabling K-band entirely at a single press. This is pretty nice. You have the same option here as well, and I really like that. Now the way the lockouts work on this detector is when you're driving around and you see a signal that you want to lock out, press and hold this button.
Lockout saved.
So lockout saved. Basically press and hold the mute button for 2 seconds and you'll see right there on the display, little letters right next to it, it says lockout. And now next time we drive by in the same location, we see the same signal. We get the alert, and now it is locked out with no audio alert. I've been testing it around a little bit, driving around, and it seems like it's actually doing a really good job. You can basically just lock out the signal, and it does a good job, and it stays locked out, so I like it.
Lockout deleted.
Cool. So as you can see, you also have the option of deleting the lockout if you no longer want a signal to be locked out, or you mistakenly lock out a blind spot false, or even a police officer that you thought was a stationary false alert. You have the ability of deleting the lockout just by pressing and holding the mute button again for 2 seconds when you are in the presence of that locked out signal. Now this button here on top, it's our power button. We'll go ahead and power cycle it. One thing I like about the detector is it is super quick at alerting after it starts back up. Check this out.
GPS connected.
We're up and running. If I go ahead and trigger, bam, we're in business. So like really fast startup time.
band 34.7.
So cool, I like that a lot as well. Now to get into the actual menu itself, rather than a short press, you're going to do a long press.
Menu.
Okay. Now with the menu, the way that the menu works is you can go forward through the menu, and if you go too far, rather than having to cycle all the way through, you can go back as well.
X band, K band, KA band, K band, X band, user mode.
So pretty slick. Expert mode basically unlocks all the different features and functionality.
Beginner.
Beginner mode just kind of keeps the main core features without getting into some of the technical advanced stuff, right?
Expert.
We're going to do expert because I want to show you guys everything, so let's do it.
X band.
All right, so X band on and off. A lot of this stuff will be pretty self-explanatory.
X on, X off.
Simple, right?
K band.
Okay.
K narrow, K off, K wide.
So if you want to run, full K band, or if you want to run a narrower width of K band, you can do that.
KA band.
Okay.
KA wide off, KA wide on.
So with this detector, you do
KA band.
You do have your KA segments 1 through 10. The KA segments, the frequencies are set up exactly like the Escort Red line, for example. So for those of you guys familiar with 258, same exact thing here with this guy.
KA band.
One thing that is a little bit different, on the M3s, you have to turn KA super wide off in order to access the segments. This guy is the opposite.
KA wide off.
If you do this, it's going to disable all of your KA alerts completely. So again, this is backwards than the Escort ones.
KA wide on.
Okay, so we got KA on, and now we'll be able to get our alerts. So we've got our detector set up right now.
KA band.
With our individual segments.
KA band. KA band. KA band. KA band.
So as you can see, it's basically set up 258, and again, the frequencies are just like you guys are familiar with before.
KA laser.
All right, laser on and off.
Pop mode. BSM filter mode.
This is nice. The BSM filter on this detector is very effective. It's able to filter out blind spot falses very well with really minimal impact to detection range, which is nice. I'll have to review the test results, but that's the idea with this one.
TSR filter mode.
Now this is different than TSR.
TSR filter on.
Will impact K-band, as any TSR does with any detector. It's basically designed to filter out traffic sensors on highways, so it's nice to have a blind spot filter without resorting to TSR.
TSR BSM filter mode.
So as you can see, we do have 2 separate filters there. That is awesome. I like that a lot.
Auto mute mode.
Okay, auto mute. You have the ability to actually choose how quiet the detector gets when it automatically mutes itself after a couple seconds. You can see we got a couple options there. The default is 40%. I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like running at 40%.
KA band 34.7. Unit mode.
Okay, so there is 2 options for your modes.
Metric, English.
Miles per hour to kilometers per hour. Cool.
City mode filter.
City mode filter. We have the option of when you're running in city mode, how much do you actually want to filter every individual band. So you can see we've got, actually let's go this way. So basically 0% is no filtering. 20% will basically say the signal has to get to, signal 2 out of 9, or signal strength, in order to alert. So this, for example, 40% is, the signal has to be 4 out of 9 bars or stronger to alert.
City mode filter.
We can do the same thing with K-band, so 20%. This is saying that it has to be, 2 out of 9 signal strength or more to alert. And then, again, we can do the same thing with KA. We want full performance on KA, so if we want that, we'll set it to 0. We'll let it time out.
City mode speed.
Okay. So now we have 2 different speeds that we can set here. Low speed muting is exactly what it sounds. It's set up right now. If I'm driving below 20 miles an hour, it will mute all of my signals for me. Now, This will not give me any sort of initial beep to let me know, hey, it's seeing a signal. It's like from the very first time it sees a signal, it is completely muted. There is no initial warning with this guy. This also applies to highway mode, even though this is a city mode feature. Now that's different, low speed muting, as opposed to city mode speed. City mode speed is actually set up for auto city mode. In city mode, we always have this, reduction and filtering that we just did with the city mode filtering stuff. In auto city mode, if we're traveling now at 40 miles an hour or lower, those filters are actually going to kick in.
City mode filter.
Remember these ones? So they're going to kick in now if we're at 40 miles an hour or less. If we go at 40 miles an hour
city mode speed
or above, then we're going to be running effectively in highway mode with full sensitivity on all bands. So that's actually what this is for and how we set it here with the city, auto city and highway mode, that button there.
Display mode.
Okay, we've got 3 different ways of actually displaying our signals when we get them, and I'll go ahead and show you that now.
KA band. K band. KA band.
Now, when you're actually driving around and not getting an alert, you have a couple different ways of displaying information here on screen. You can show your speed as well as your compass, direction of travel.
Speed.
You adjust your speed, and here, I'll just run through them.
Time. Voltage. Speed and voltage. Speed and time. Speed and compass.
Cool. So as you can see, we got a couple different ways of displaying information when we're just driving around and not getting any alerts.
GMT setting.
So you can set your daylight savings time offset here.
Red light camera.
Okay. If you want to get notified to red light cameras or not, if you want to mute any individual red light camera, you can just do that by pressing the mark button right there. On the side, we have our USB port. That's for actually updating the database.
Speed camera.
And updating the firmware too. So speed camera.
Red light and speed camera.
Okay.
User point.
When you're driving around, you can press this button to, remind you of different, POIs. You can save those and delete them there, or you can just remove the whole functionality here in the menu.
GPS warning distance. Farther. Farthest. Normal.
Basically, how far away do you want to get alerted from things like, red light cameras and whatnot.
Voice mode.
Okay. Voice mode on and off.
Voice off.
If you want to disable the voice to tell you, KA band 34/7 or whatever when you're getting an alert, you've got that option here. I'll go ahead and play you a couple alerts with voice on and off.
Laser. KA band 34.7. K band. Brightness.
Okay. We've got a couple different options here to actually change the brightness of the display.
Dim. Dimmer. Dark. Smart dark. Bright. Dim.
These are pretty self-explanatory.
Dimmer. Dark.
Dark is basically blacks out your display, all the time.
Smart dark.
Smart dark is pretty slick. It'll keep the display dark when you're not getting an alert, and then when you do get an alert, it'll actually display it here on screen for you.
Bright.
Now, a quick note, well, 2 things to say. Number 1, this does not have any sort of sensor built into the detector to tell, when it's bright or dark outside, so you do have to actually set that manually. There's no sensor for it. Additionally, you'll notice right now this feature is actually buried in the menu, so it takes a little while to flick through the different options and get to here.
Bright.
They're actually going to be changing this before this detector is released for sale to make this the very first option in the menu, from what I've been told, to basically make it easier to, change this option as you need it, daytime versus nighttime, that kind of stuff, so you don't have to go digging through the menu. So that's one change that they will be making.
Test mode.
Test mode, this is pretty slick. It's basically like a raw, unfiltered,
Test mode on.
there's no filtering, there's no latch, there's no delay, there's nothing. It's basically you get to see exactly what the detector is or is not seeing at any time. It's pretty cool. We'll go ahead and take a look at this one now.
Exit.
Let's check this out. We're gonna go ahead and trigger it with a Ka band gun. We're gonna go ahead and trigger. Okay, alert pops there on the screen. You'll notice there's no audio, but it will tell you the signal. It's seeing a Ka signal, and there is the signal strength that it's seeing. As soon as I let go of the trigger, the signal will go away. Go ahead and do the same thing with K-band, and we'll fire. Shows up right there on screen, K9. And then we let go of the trigger, and you'll notice the signal goes away. So that's basically a raw, it's not something you'd want to use when you're actually driving around because there is no audio alert. But if you're curious to see exactly what the detector is seeing with no filtering, with no latch, with no delay, nothing, this is a great way. I can see it actually in testing to see, like, is it seeing a signal and maybe filtering it out? A really helpful feature here. So for enthusiasts, I think this is really cool. This isn't something I've seen in any detector before, so I'm actually really excited to see, how people wind up using this feature.
Delete all user points.
Now we have the option of deleting all of the user points that we had manually set here using this button if we like. Go ahead and do that.
All user points deleted.
It's kind of cool. Vroom, vroom, vroom. That's cool.
Delete all lockouts.
So if we want, we can delete all of the lockouts that we have previously saved.
Firmware version.
So here is the version of the firmware that I'm running currently, version 1.13. Again, this is not quite public release. There are going to be a couple changes. For example, they're going to be moving the brightness option to the beginning, like I mentioned. They're also going to be adjusting the ramp up of the detector to make it smoother over time, things like that. So there still are a couple tweaks, but you can see this is what I'm running right now, and you have the ability to see it in the detector. So cool.
Database version.
Red light camera database. Here is the version that I'm currently running. It's supposed to be updated pretty regularly. Cool things like the red light camera database is directional, so if the cameras monitor one direction and not the other, it'll only alert you in the direction where it's actually a threat. Cool things like that.
Factory reset.
These are factory defaults.
Exit.
And once we're done, just exit the menu.
Exit.
So cool. As you can see, there's a pretty quick run through of all the different features and options here available in the Radenso XP. Again, over time things may change. There's going to be features added, changed, removed, all that kind of stuff, right? This detector is going to be available for sale in about a month or so, from what I understand, sometime around mid-September. So anyways, wanted to go ahead and show you guys what this detector has as far as the different buttons, features, options, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, cool. So there you go. If you guys have any questions, hop onto the Radenso section on RDF. I'll put links down in the video description. There's a lot of discussion about this detector, so you can read all about it, ask questions, hop into the community, join the discussion, all that good stuff. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.